Frankenstein. Lunch walks among us. Chapter 1. Franny's house. The Stein family lives in the pretty pink house with lovely purple shutters down at the end of Defner Street. Everything about the house was bright and cheery. Everything, that is, except the upstairs bedroom with the tiny window room. That room belonged to Franny Cainstay, and she liked to keep it dark and spooky and creepy. Every few days, her mother would come in the Laco's Franny's bedroom with daisies and laces and pictures of a lovely house. It would always look so sweet and pretty. But by the next day, Franny would somehow imagine to make it look dark and creepy and spooky again. That was how she liked it, like a dungeon complete with giant spider and birds. Bats? Where does she get bats? Her mother would ask when she saw Franny's room. Is there a bastard around here or something? Of course there wasn't a bastard around. The bats just kept showing up. The bats liked Franny's room, and Franny liked bats. They are the lads with personal wings, should say. What's not to like? Chapter 2. Franny's room. Franny's bedroom was really something special. It had big steaming test-tops, stingy bobbing beakers, and a whole bunch of cracking electrical gimbals that Franny had made all by herself. Franny's room also had a giant tarantula cage, a snake house, and a trunk where she lays a special bed of flying planaria. She couldn't imagine why everybody would want daisies and laces when they could have poison ivy and Venus fly traps. There's no comparison, she said, ducking off one of her flying planaria. Franny thought her room was so great and so wonderful and so perfect for her that she almost never wanted to leave it. But she had to, of course, for things like going outside, eating dinner, going to school, and using the bathroom, which is something Franny really liked to do. Whoops, that didn't sound right. It was going to school that Franny really liked. Chapter 3. New at school. Franny and her family had just moved to the house at the end of Defner Street, and she was new at school. She liked her teacher, Miss Shelley. She thought she would like the other kids too, but they really wasn't very friendly towards Franny. The other kids weren't mean. They just had never known anybody like Franny. Nobody else had a job like Franny's. Franny's lunches did not look like the other kids' lunch either. And when they played hide and seek, no one could find her. Franny could tell that the other kids were afraid of her, and that made her sad because she really did want to make friends. Her teacher, Mrs. Shelley, noticed that was happening, and one day she asked Franny to stay after class. Chapter 4. Postman. Mrs. Shelley was the nicest, smartest teacher Franny had ever had. Franny used to think that if only she dressed differently and wore her hair another way, she would be perfect. You're wonderful students, Mrs. Shelley said. Thank you, said Franny. I like school, especially science, especially the gooey parts of science. I like the gooey parts too, Mrs. Shelley said, and they both laughed. I'm a math scientist, you know, Franny whispered. That must be very rewarding, Mrs. Shelley said, but she didn't really believe that Franny was a real-life math scientist. Franny could tell. But I wonder if you might be a little lonely sometimes, Mrs. Shelley continued. I am lonely sometimes, Franny admitted, but I don't understand the other kids, and I don't know how to make friends just with them. I think you can figure it out, said Mrs. Shelley. You're smart. Franny folded her arms. I don't know, Mrs. Shelley. Think of it as an experiment, Mrs. Shelley said. Franny's eyes lit up. A white-green curl curled across her face. An experiment was the one thing she just could not resist, and Mrs. Shelley knew it. The experiment Franny pointed into the air and why math scientists today think about conducting an experiment begins tomorrow. Chapter 5. The experiment begins. The next day, Franny came to the square prepared to start her experiment. Before class, she oversaw the girls playing with dolls. Franny was delighted. She knew about dolls. She loved dolls. In fact, she loved them so much that she had even made some special modifiers to the ones she had at home. Trampolina, fashion doll by Frank Afghanistan. Super dangerous. Trampolina still teeth that easily munch the head of the other dolls. Uzer's Conjurer Door by Afghanistan. Uzer girls race sick on whatever hurt her. She was just about to tell the girls how Trampolina could bite the heads of their dolls when she noticed something. Their dolls are kind of sweet and pretty. They all have long hair and flowery dress. Not a single one of them ooze yolk. They don't ooze anything. Franny made a note to herself. Pretty none had biting dolls. It's less and less oozing. At lunchtime, Franny sat down at a table with a bunch of kids. She was getting ready to take out her especially delicious crab level in the pumpkin sauce when she made another ovation. Peanut butter and jelly sandwich on her left, lunch meat sandwich on her right. As far as Franny's eyes could see was a carpet of soft white squishy sandwich. No casseroles, no sauce, no skin, no shish kebabs, just sandwich. Is this all they ever eat? She whispered to herself, and she made another note. Squish sandwich, it said. Franny stuffed her lunch into the trash. Darling Licious, the kids decided to play softball. I have the ball, one of them said. But we need a bat, another one said. A bat, Franny thought. Family, something I understand. She reached into her backpack to get one. Just then, a little boy passed her with a baseball bat. Better off, he shouted. Said Franny. There's more than one kind of bat. As her classmates started playing, she took out her notebook and made another note. A bat can also be a big stick you use hit things, she wrote. After school, Franny picked up her backpack full of customers' dolls and spiders and nuts and breads. She handed some home to analyze the data she had gathered that day. Chapter 6. Back at the lab. Back in her room, Franny looked over her notes. She made some conclusion and puzzled over her findings. Nice kids, she said firmly. Kind of boring, but really nice. That night, Franny dreamed about how much fun it would have been to play dolls with those girls or to trade sandwiches at lunch. Even so far looked like fun. In spite of the fact they used like to bat that didn't have cute feather wings. The end.